self-employed versus employed versus a third way. Today, I'm joined by Steve Wayne, who is a very well-known estate agent in Northwest London. He runs his own estate agency, property management, lettings firm, but he also offers a self-employed model as well. But we're not here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about how some self-employed models are opening up their models to existing estate agents. Is that a wise thing? Talk to me.
So it's interesting. When I heard the news about what was happening with a few people doing that, we actually spoke about it in November ourselves. And there's almost, and I've spoken about, when I talk about the self-employed model and we talk about why people struggle, it's the loneliness, it's the isolation, which I think is a real struggle. But people almost don't want that 9 till 6. I've always said, if you took half that day out of an estate agent's day, they'd still be able to do most of their work. And I think that's just in industries in general. And I think that third option of being part of an office, still being self-employed, still controlling your own diary, your own day, and having that freedom, but still together with that high street office, that buzz of other people, having a powerhouse. We've got employed and self-employed model, but we've also got a couple of guys who for years have been self-employed as such. And they win. They're my winners in the company. They're the ones who earn the most money. It's as simple as that. And they're the ones who, if they want to go and take 10 holiday weeks a year, they take it. One of the boys has, funnily enough, just gone away for 2 weeks, which I'd never allowed if he was employed on the first week of January. But being self-employed, I can't say a word. And it gives them people total freedom. But what he has and what the guys in my office love is that, you're still in that buzz of an office. You still have that big brand behind you. You've still got, the Rightmove leads flying in, the lettings leads. It's just that busy constant.
I mean, you've got the two sides of the story. So if an estate agency chain joins this model, they have still got to give up a certain percentage of their income to the model, up to a cap.
Yeah.
But then it does mean that they can bring other people in. But then there's nothing stopping that agent setting up their own self-employed model.
Yeah, look, I think, obviously, we're talking about, EXP have just launched that, and, I think it's a great idea for them. But there will be other people that think, I don't need EXP, I'll just do it myself. And I don't know the ins and outs of how the figures work and how much they do for the agent.
Fundamentally, you give 30% of your fee away up to a cap.
Yeah.
But in return, you get cheap Rightmove, cheap Zoopla, and cheap CRM.
Yeah, look, people are going to take it right hand. Yeah. But the reality is their cap for a busy office is probably very low. If you're looking, I think their caps, even if you look at the 200 grand, you're giving away seven.
It's half of that, I think.
Okay, so even better. You look at Rightmove. Rightmove cost me each office about £2,000 a month. It's your £24,000. So you could argue, and I'm selling us 3XP, you could argue they're better off being part of that and all the other bonuses, and you talk about Zoopla and whatever else. So for an agent, it's an amazing opportunity. But the problem is I go on evaluation and Benjamin Stevens is all over my local town. If it's not Benjamin Stevens and it's another brand, then you almost lose that stronghold you have. So, but the movement of a high street self-employed office, the Americans would call it a brokerage, I think is probably the future of estate agency in this country. We've had the self-employed model, and I sat here about 5 years ago, strangely enough, talking about it with you, and we did it before EXP, and they've done phenomenally well. And your Kellers and other people have got into the market. But actually, if you ask me where I think it's going, I think what they're trying to do and what we've actually launched, coincidentally, we didn't know anything about what they were doing, and we decided, ironically, we were negotiators and we just had a few to drink, and we were just talking about where the future is. Amazing, the drunk conversations, even better when you remember them. But for us, we're like, this is the way we're going. We've got 7 people in the office now, all on that same package, and the atmosphere in the office, because you've got people that want to sell. I think what's happened in the estate agency over the years is people are on 25 and then they stay for 5 years, 10 years, so their wage goes up and up and up, and their commission's at 10%. What's the excitement about selling a property in a nicest way when you're earning 5-10%? You go and sell something for £1 million and your company's earning 15,000, you're getting 1,500 quid. But there's a big difference to you starting to earn 25, 35, 40% on that money. Wow, you're going out and the excitement, and suddenly what happens, and one of the reasons I was always obsessed about the self-employed model, is how much more time and energy you're going to give to a client when you're making 5 grand over 500. You're going to be a lot more engaged with looking after that client from head to toe. Suddenly each property you care about more. You'll do, we all know as a estate agent what perfect estate agency looks like. But most of us can't do it because we don't have the time, energy, or money for a £500 commission to do the leaflet drops in a row, to do the social media videos, to do the posts on socials. We can't do it because the ticket value is so small. But with the self-employed model, that changes. And I think this sort of, I call it the hybrid of hybrids. You know, this new way which is going, which just coincidentally we launched, you know, late part of last year, I really think is the future of estate agency. And I think it will gather momentum very, very quickly.
Thank you for your insight today, Steve.
Pleasure.